Up next.
The entrepreneurs must convince a shark to invest the full amount they're asking for, or they'll walk away with nothing.
Greed is good, but we need to be greedy together.
And if the sharks hear a good idea, they'll fight each other for a piece of it.
I'll give you $200,000 for 20%.
$300,000 for 35%.
It's a big mistake to me on this one.
Do you remember the early days of the show Shark Tank? Kevin O'Leary, coming off the success of Dragon's Den, replacing his fellow Canadian business magnates with American ones. Well, among them, business executive Kevin Harrington. Harrington has compiled a new book called Build Wealth Like a Shark. It's billed as a book that features insights from 31 of North America's leading business, financial, and investment authorities. For that book, Tim Hansen has provided some insights of his own. He's a wealth advisor at Sutton Wealth Planning here in Saskatoon, and we'll be doing a reading from the book tonight in a Facebook live stream. Tim Hansen joins me now on the line. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning, Heather.
Seems like you're in pretty good company here. How did you get involved with this book?
It's actually a pretty funny story. Met Kevin back in 2016. My business partners and I are in a mastermind group that meets in Pittsburgh each year. And Kevin came in as a guest speaker and spoke to the small group. And then he's been back a couple times since then. So that chance meeting kind of led to the shark pitching us. So in January of 2019, he came back to the group and pitched the book project, and I was one of the few that was selected for that project.
So you put forward an idea for this book. What idea did you want to write about?
Well, wealth is often thought of as just all about making money, and I know from my own experience and the work I do with people that it's more than that. So there's a lot of foundational stuff that you need to do before you get to the point where you're like, okay, now I know how to make money. So I really wanted to expose that myth or that part of it, that money isn't everything that's all about to make wealth. So.
And how did that feel to have Kevin Harrington say, hey, I like your idea?
Pretty good. The small town kid from Theodore, Saskatchewan was pretty nervous, to be honest. It was kind of cool though, because I've met him a couple times, and he's one of those people he's not intimidating, but he definitely travels at a different pace than the average person. And when he pitched us, I was like, who? What? Me? Huh? Like just felt a little bit odd, but definitely special in that moment for sure.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the essay that you put forward for the book. It's about, you were saying foundational habits?
Yeah. So one of the things I'm sure you share in, Heather, in that I get up every morning, every day at 5 o'clock, and there's little things that I do in my life, and I call it compounding decisions. So it's just the little things that we do every day that add up to one big result, and it's very important.
Well, so to give us an idea of what some of these little things, give us your hot tips here, Tim. I feel like you're holding out on me.
My hot tips, my hot stock tips.
Yeah. No, what are some of the little habits that you do that build that compound that work for you?
Well, I work on myself every day. So I spend a minimum of 20 minutes to half an hour reading and continuing to develop my skills and just getting better at what I do. Getting better at, being consistent with my habits every day. So eating healthy, exercising every day, all those things are good for your mind as well as your body, and they're just important to instill into your life as just a standard project.
So how do you think that self-development then transfers over into the area of finance?
Well, it's all about getting better at what you do. So when you hone a skill, basically what you're doing is you're freeing up your mind to do other things. So something that feels simple, like driving to work on the same route every day, you get into that habit of doing it consistently, and while you're driving, sometimes you're not even sure where you're going because you're actually thinking about other things. You might be listening to the information on the radio, or just thinking about what's ahead in your day and doing a lot of planning to free your mind for other things.
So what kind of habits do you like to see your clients make in terms of building wealth for themselves?
I think the most important part is consistency. So once you do something and you get used to it and you do it well, honestly, it's just pause, rewind, and repeat. Mm-hmm. Habits are so critical, and it's daily habits, it's annual habits, it's planning, it's thinking about the future consistently and moving forward.
When you talk to your own clients, perhaps new clients, about this idea that it's not about, winning the lottery or making a lot of money, it's about these habits, do you get any resistance to that idea?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Sometimes it's really hard when you have habits that you've already instilled and then you're trying to change them. It takes time, so it's never quick, right? It can take, technically it's 21 days to change a habit and another 21 days to instill it. So it is very challenging, and sometimes absolutely resistance is a natural part of getting better at what you do.
So how do you get them to change their habits? What sort of carrot do you dangle in front of them?
Well, I think it's ultimately about setting a destination point. So you do have to have something to look forward to. These days, considering we're in this pandemic, I think it's even more important than ever to set a goal to say, hey, when this is all done, here's something that I want to be able to do. So you have to be self-motivated, but it has to be something that's meaningful to you. If it doesn't mean anything to you, you're not going to change your habit.
Yeah, that is a question I wanted to ask you. We are in the middle of pandemic. This has been a really hard financial time for a lot of people. So why does a book about wealth fit into our current time? How does that fit in for you?
I think it's probably more important now than we've ever imagined, because a lot of the focus is on the health pandemic and the challenges of that. And, we talk a lot about the financial pandemic that's going to follow it. So now is a great time, if you have extra time on your hands, to be doing some more personal development, to be honing the skills so that when this is all said and done, that you're up and running and you're quickly on your feet.
Tim, thank you very much for your time, and congratulations on participating in this book.
Awesome. Thanks, Heather.
Tim Hansen is a wealth advisor at Sutton Wealth Planning. Now, as I mentioned earlier, Tim will be busy later today doing a live reading from the book. It starts at 7 o'clock tonight, and the event will be hosted live by Sutton Wealth Planning's Facebook page. You're